narrator had been deprived of all the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. It had ruined his fishing trips. Why? Because he had developed that hydrophobia. Because of the two bad experiences that he had, he was not able to overcome his fear. He used every method he knew to overcome his fear. Finally, he decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. That means, my dear students, the narrator had become determined to overcome his fear. He went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around him. A rope attached to the belt went through a pulley on an overhead cable. He held on to the end of the rope. They went on this way for many weeks. That means it was the narrator who was determined to get rid of his fear. It was his patience, it was his determination, it was his perseverance that really helped him cling on to his passion of overcoming his fear. They went on this for many weeks. On each trip across the pool, a bit of panic seized him. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and the author went underwater, some of the old terror returned and his legs froze. It is so difficult to get rid of the fear. Just like it is very difficult for an opium eater to forego his daily portion, that means for a drug addict to come out of his habit. In the same manner, when you develop the fear, when you have a fear of something, it is very, very difficult to overcome it. But he went on and on and on. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Then the instructor taught him to put his face under water and exhale, and to raise his nose and inhale. He repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Very slowly, he shed some of the old panic as his head went underwater. My dear students, if you do remember, it was headlong that he had fallen into the pool, and it was really very difficult for him to breathe. So every time he had put his head into the water, again that fear came back to him. Then the instructor held him at the side of the pool and had him kick with his legs. He did so for weeks. Gradually his legs relaxed. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer. It is said, try and try and try, then only you will succeed. And he emerged as victorious. When he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. He had started practicing in October, and in April, the trainer told him that he could swim. He asked the author to dive off and swim the length of the pool. He began with crawl stroke. When he swam alone in the pool, tiny remnants of the old terror would return. But now he could rebuke his terror. He got hold of his terror. When he was in the middle of the lake, he put his face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. He asked terror what it could do to him, and it fled away. That means now he had become so bold, so courageous, that he could look at terror into its eyes. Here, terror is personified. The author has very beautifully used the poetic device personification to tell us that terror was a human being and he was terrified of this terror. But by looking into his eyes, the terror was gone. Some doubt still remained. So he went up to the Titan, to Conrad Meadows, up to the Conrad Trail to meet Glacier. He camped in the high meadow by the side of the warm lake. Next morning, he dived into the lake and swam across to the other shore and back. He shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. He had conquered his fear of water.